you just stop and think of it, ain't no doubt of it, I'm gonna win a place in history. If I could walk with the animals, talk with the animals, grunt, squeak, squawk with the animals, and they could squeak and squawk and speak and talk to me.
I love that song. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, and what a beautiful morning it is. We invite you into our spiritual community of hope, courage, and compassion. Take a deep breath and release it as we ready our hearts and minds to enter this precious space together. Today, we honor all the animals in our life that became our confidant, companion, source of love, and much more. We light this candle to begin our service. And in honor of the animal realm, furred and hoofed, two-legged, four-legged, many-legged, fanged and clawed, gentle and fierce, wild and tame, may we remember that all animals are our relatives, worthy of our care and respect.
The Calling of the Creatures by Ian W. Riddle. Come hoof and trunk and tail and horn and paw and wing and claw. Come bird and reptile, mammal born, all full of nature's law. Bring bark and crow and rivet too, and silent stare and hiss. Bring purr and trill and warble too, and voice no ear can miss. We gather here each life and all to celebrate and sing, to honor creature large and small. 'Tis holiness we bring.
And now I'd like to introduce my friend Martha Carlton. Old MacDonald, the guy with the farm, has nothing on our speaker today. Currently, Martha Carlton's menagerie consists of horses, Rafik, Frolic, Rembrandt, and Paprika. Dogs, Hamilton, Mesa, and Kanga. Rats, he gets two names, Winston Rat. Tortoises, Shuffle, Rio, Napoleon, Franklin, and number 5. Parrots, Banshee, Amelia, Avalon, and Ivan. Phew! And now, here is my friend, Martha Carlton.
Good morning. When I was young, I wanted to be Dr. Dolittle so I could talk to my pets. We always had animals when I was growing up. In Rhode Island, we had dogs, cats, ducks, named Samantha and Thorndike, lambs and rabbits. In Michigan, my parents' friend, George Campbell, who worked for Science Diet, an animal food company, had a small zoo in his basement in Detroit. I was there a lot. He had marmosets, bush babies, alligators, and even giant hissing cockroaches. In 9th grade, I took a 4-foot alligator to my biology class for an oral report on American alligators. When Mike married me, he also married my dog and my horse. Snowstorm, my dog, wore flowers at our wedding reception. My herd grew in New York State, as well as my pack of dogs, flock of parrots, clouder of cats, and creep of tortoises. I worked in a pet store and would bring home iguanas, snakes, hedgehogs, ferrets, and more dogs and cats. I also brought home and still bring home wild strays, crows, blue jays, rabbits, raccoons, opossums, and a sulcata tortoise, number 5, who was walking across Fitzhugh Road on Dripping Springs. Sulcata tortoises are native to Africa, so she wasn't part of Texas's natural fauna. While working at the Hudson Valley Raptor Center in New York, I did the educational programs for schools and groups like the Nature Conservancy and Boy Scouts. It was fun. I got to hold great horned owls, saw-whet owls, falcons, and American kestrels. Did you know that kestrels can hover like a hummingbird? Turkey vultures were my favorite birds to talk about. I enjoyed grossing people out when I talked about what they would do when frightened. They would vomit partially digested roadkill and bile on what or whoever scared them. The boys always said cool when everyone else said yuck. I got my first horse when I was 16, and I've always had at least one since then. Right now I have 4. I have a habit of getting new horses without telling Mike. It's okay, he knows I have 4. I've worked with horses at the racetrack and breeding farms. I've taught in a handicap riding program. I spent 6 months working nights in a foaling barn in Kentucky delivering foals. We had 98 foals born that year. Right now, I'm trying to breed my Lusitano mare, Paprika, to a sulfur Mustang who has a curly coat gene that is going extinct in the wild. We are trying to keep that from happening. Dogs, horses, as well as other animals, have relationships with humans and other animals. It's a shame humans can't get along with other humans who are different than they are. Parrots interact with people differently than other animals because they can communicate using words and their tone of voice. You have to be careful what you say around them. They've been known to swear. I taught Banshee, my cockatoo, to say out when he wanted to come out of his cage. He added attitude to that when he didn't get his way, and out became out. My African gray will say goodnight when he wants the light turned off, the TV turned on, or the dehumidifier emptied. Banshee, the cockatoo, believes I'm his mate, and he is very protective of me. And he's been known to chase Mike away from me with his wings out and his crown up. There is a coevolution of humans with dogs who evolved from wolves. It was a symbiotic relationship, therefore a mutually beneficial relationship between species. Originally, wolves hung around humans and ate their food remains. The gentler ones became part of the tribe. They were used as protection and pack animals. The Egyptian god Anubis is a dog-human hybrid who is the guide to the underworld. Now, dogs are companions as well as working dogs. We have changed them into all different shapes and sizes and colors. Can you believe this Yorkie in a Halloween costume's ancestor was a wolf? They now depend on us to take care of them. They are part of the family. Dogs are also therapeutic animals. They are eyes for the blind. They are great companions for the old, and they visit patients in the hospital. They react to your moods and will comfort you when you are upset. They are excited to see you when you get home, and some will wait by the door until you return. The relationship between humans and dogs is more understandable than the relationship between humans and horses, because horses are prey animals and humans are predators. Yet horses allow us to sit on their backs and tell them what to do. But I have been thrown a few times and even catapulted off once. Horses have been a part of human evolution for thousands of years, beginning as a source of food. I always wondered who were the first people to try and ride a horse. I'm betting it was a teenager. They became pack animals, a form of transportation, a sport animal. They were used in war as well as dogs. There are cave paintings of them in France and Spain. There are more artistic renderings of horses than any other species besides humans. Horses represent beauty, strength, and freedom. Winston Churchill said, there is something about the outside of a horse that is good for the inside of a man. The term horse sense originated in the American West. It meant common sense, but I believe horses have a sixth sense when they tune into energies given off by their humans. They can tell when you're afraid and then they respond to these energies. My horse Sequoia was very aware of small children, even though he never had to deal with them. Once, when Sequoia was grazing, 3 small kids ran up to him and grabbed his legs and hugged him. He stood as if he was a statue, and while they were there. He could have accidentally hurt the children or run away. Horses have different personalities. My first mare would take advantage of someone who didn't know what they were doing and head for the nearest low tree branch to knock them off. I had a gelding who would treat his rider with respect no matter how well they rode. There is a belief that horses and their owners have the same personalities. I have 4 horses with 4 different personalities, so I guess you can call me Sybil. Horses are used in therapy for people with physical and mental disabilities. They help people with PTSD. They help veterans and convicts. A friend of mine was suffering from dementia. He owned a horse, and when he came to ride, we would watch him carefully to make sure he had the saddle and bridle put on correctly, and his helmet on before he rode. We didn't worry about him while he was on his horse because the horse took care of him. He and his horse are now part of the therapeutic riding program. This year, his horse was awarded Favorite Horse of the Year. The reason I am so fond of animals is because they don't judge. You can tell them anything you want, stuff you would never tell another human. They listen. They never lie. They never pretend to like you. They don't gossip, even though I wonder what horses talk about around the hay bale at night. They aren't afraid of dying and never worry about the afterlife. They do miss their friends when they are gone. I will end with some advice from dogs and horses. Advice from dogs. Unleash your talent. Learn new tricks at any age. Be loyal and love unconditionally. Chase your dreams. Hide your favorite snacks, especially from your husband. Enjoy the simple things. Run to greet your loved ones. Make new friends. Don't bark up the wrong tree. Always trust your instincts. Have fun and play hard. Be brave no matter your size. Now, horses would advise you to be free-spirited. Jump the hurdle of life with ease and take life in stride. Be curious, be brave. Gallop to greatness. Be strong enough to stand alone and wise enough to stand together. Loosen the reins. Keep the burrs from under your saddle. Carry your friends when they need it. Keep stable. And finally, live like the gates left open.
I love my dog as much as I love you. But you may fade, my dog will always come through. All he asks from me is the food to give him strength. All he ever needs is love, and that he knows he'll get. So I love my dog as much as I love you. But you may fade, my dog will always come through. All the pay I need comes shining through his eyes. I don't need no cold water to make me realize that I love my dog as much as I love you. But you may fade, my dog will always come through. Na 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 na. much as I love you. You may fade, my doc will always come through. I love my dog, baby, I love my dog. Na 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 na. I said I love my dog, baby, I love my dog, baby, I love my dog. Na 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 na.
And now here are some of the animals that have touched us in the past and present.
Nugget the chicken being the godmother, true story, on my friend's farm. For the blessing of animal companions, we give thanks. For the beautiful ones, those whose fur is silky and whose tails are long, whose feathers are brilliant, or whose voices are splendid, we give thanks. For the frantic ones, the runts and the hungry, who run for a food bowl or pat as though this is life's last possible gift, we give thanks. For the obnoxious ones, the heads that butt against us as we're trying to sleep, the bodies that refuse to learn discretion as they make our digestive gifts, I guess, we give thanks. For those who bark and purr and growl and mew, for all who squeak or squawk or snarf or hiss, we give thanks. For the animals unknown to us, those whose niche in life's web is fragile, whose lives are insecure, for all who care for them and wish them well, we give thanks. Blessed are the animals. Blessed are the creatures who live with us and need our care. Blessed are the mammals and the reptiles and the birds who teach us we are not alone. Blessed are all living things from whom we learn to live. Blessed are our animals. They bring us so much for so often way too short of a time. May we be the person our dog or animal thinks that we are. Go in peace, go in kindness, go in love.
Thank you, Susan. And Martha, thank you for such a wonderful tribute to animals. It was so amazing. I definitely want to hear it again and again. And to all who created the service today. It is time to end our service. I will extinguish our candle. And would love for y'all to stick around for Joys and Concerns if you can. If you need to go, we'll send you off in a moment with our love ritual. And then after Joys and Concerns, we'll have community chat. So we can just open it up to whoever and whatever's on your mind. So if you're going, we send you off with peace and love and an animal in your heart. And I will turn it over to Joan to hopefully, we just take for granted, and I don't want to, Joan's ability to facilitate. We're just like, yeah, Joan, she's there, she'll do it. So Joan, thank you again to facilitate our Joys and Concerns.